Today, we have the top 10 most overrated players in FC 24. This is the definition of controversy. Do me a solid before we begin. Who are your most overrated players this year? Load up the comments. By definition, overrated, rated or valued too highly. This isn't about just high-rated players that don't perform. I'm seeing them in frequency. Beautiful people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Let's get to work. If you have not subscribed, run that up. Honorable mentions. I gotta start with Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United fans, I hear you. We're not talking about the actual pitch. I view Bruno Fernandes as a value trap at 130, 140,000 coins and likely to be getting cheaper. I just keep thinking, meh. That's never the description you're after. I don't see high value, high rated, affordable, but you get what you pay for. Figo. And I'm still confused. At this point, I believe his stats are fraudulent. Receives an upgrade. He's better than previous years, but I can't quite pinpoint it. Is it his movement? Is it a lack of physicality? He even has the play styles that you want in the rotation. Playstyle plus and technical, one of the most overpowered, dangerous, disruptive, disgusting. And Figo in real life, my goodness, what a performer. Giving you highlight on highlight on highlight. Pure brilliance. But it has not translated to FC success or FIFA success. It's not part of that narrative. I'm not happy about this. Didier Drogba, and this could be a me problem. The physicality is right. He has the skill moves. He can finish from anywhere. I just don't maximize his productivity. I should be showing up and showing out. And often that's not the scenario, not the case. I think it comes down to the footwork. But again, this could be about me, but it's also my list. I'm gonna have that bias. At number 10, not a surprise if you've been following the channel, Memphis Depay. He might have the lion tattoo, but he's a lion in the zoo, not a lion in the wild, respectfully. The weak foot always becomes an issue. I don't create degrees of separation. There's no breakaway pace. For 300,000 coins, Memphis Depay can find himself in the reserves. And when I go up against him, I'm still dominant in that matchup. Midfielders, defenders, we always get a chase back. We make interceptions and key tackles. He doesn't win 1v1s. I know that he could finish for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but he's not able to get in those positions fluently. I've witnessed the physicality, and it actually might make him a little bit slower due to his body type. On paper, he's legit. In-game, questionable at best. At number 9, Philipp Lahm. And I'm not happy about this. It brings me no joy. Fantastic player in real life. Multiple roles on the pitch effortlessly. But in FC 24, he's simply subpar. Undersized, 5'7". You don't have skill moves. You really don't have a weak foot. When you get into the nitty-gritty, the passing's not that impressive. The pace is regular. The dribbling, the touches, you're always asking for more. I just can't work with Philipp Lahm. He has too much competition for this position, and my options are simply better. But I still see Philipp Lahm being used on a regular basis. Number 8, and I'm not sure that we'll be on the same page. We're going back-to-back Germans with the likes of Goretzka, the 80s across the board. A lot of stat lines, big body type, super physical. He's going to the gym. He's got veins popping out of his neck. 6'2", 3-star skills, 4-star weak foot. High medium work rates might not be ideal. I can read off the stats. We can talk about the greens on greens on greens. Hashtag organics. But Goretzka feels clunky. He's not responsive. I'm never turning quickly. He takes up space, but so do plenty of midfielders or box-to-box mids or even holding mids, and they just offer me something that's more offensive. There's a standout. I'm not always asking or searching for a magician, but I am trying to build the best team possible. And I constantly find myself being underwhelmed when I use Goretzka. Number 7. We have Dembele. And I never thought I'd say this, and he's still good. I don't want to take that away from Dembele, but we're used to a standard where he was a clear-cut, one of the best wingers in the game. Built for the business. The 5-star weak foot, the 5-star skill moves, the French links. He's going to give you that razzle and that dazzle. Sometimes we're sitting here discussing the stats that don't make sense. Never tired and never that frail. When you stare this man down, it looks phenomenal. How could he not give you the ultimate experience? The physicality has always been low from any previous year. I want to get that out the way. Early edition, and it didn't matter in previous FIFA installments, but this year it's playing a factor. The way that he dribbles, it's not as precise. He's not slicing and dicing. The pace, I don't feel 98 acceleration or 97 sprint speed. The finishing, not as authentic, not as organic. Again, is he good to go? Absolutely. He's just not as good as previous years. And when I think overrated, his name keeps coming up, not in a good way. Number 6, Sol Campbell. I can't get down with him. He always concedes penalty kicks. He's rash with the challenges. He's almost too physical. I don't like the side to side. He doesn't feel agile, and I see him every single weekend. 6'2" with a new dynamic image. This is the upgraded Thunderstruck icon, of course. You see the pace and the physicality, the facilitation, trash tier, the dribbling, and his responsiveness. For me, it's not good. When I go up against him, I'm also toasting this gentleman. There are handfuls of center backs that are similarly priced that are just better, at least in my opinion. And at the end of the day, there's some subjectivity here. Maybe he just doesn't fit for me. But when I think of even comparing Sol Campbell to Laurent Blanc, Blanc wins that debate every single time. Why are we settling for Sol Campbell? And technically their rating and their stats are somewhat similar. Maybe we can argue for Campbell in some ways, but not in game. At number 5, we have Kevin De Bruyne. Soon to have a team of the year from what I've been seeing on the Twitter spaces. Don't get me in trouble. I don't know if there's anything official, but this is the reality. KDB is still debatable in terms of positioning. And you might question, what does that mean? Positioning. He's sort of a tweener, which means he's in between a few different roles. And I wouldn't say he's gotten to an elite stage as a center mid, as a box to box, but he's not quick enough to be a center attacking mid. He's not defensive enough to be a holding mid. He has to be in some sort of box to box role, and there are just better players for that specific outlet or productivity in his position. Has the skills, has the weak foot, the passing and the shooting, phenomenal. 2 thumbs up. The dribbling, a little misleading because the agility and the balance, and then the pace. He doesn't have that burst. Again, with a team of the year item, different picture, different story, different narrative. But for what we have confirmed right now, I believe there's plenty of question marks, which with a 92 overall in the middies, that shouldn't be the case. Number 4, we're talking about Diaz back in the Premier League. And some of this evaluation comes down to his price. He's been expensive from the rip, and I know that he can upgrade, and of course that played some sort of factor, but I have to compare him to other wingers in similar price points, and I don't see him winning out or going a mano for a mano. Amano to Amano. Amanos, the Amanos, a lot of Amanos. Amano. As I'm recording, he's over 450,000 coins. If anything, he's sprinkling or he's nearing 500,000 coins. Serious spend. 5'11", 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot. I see the stats. I understand the pace, and he is an end line or a sideline specialist. But that's sort of where the road ends. And with what I've witnessed and the upgrades that have been made, the versatility that I'm after for some of my wingers, you can do better. He only has 3 play styles and no playstyle plus. 500,000 coins. The price is wrong and it impacts my personal judgment of value. He's also high rated. He fits into all the definitions. Let's move. At number 3, Bonatti. Congratulations on all your achievements, accolades. We just had the rewards. Pictures have been circulating the internet. She's not Mateus. And again, I'm talking virtually. And I'm surprised how many of you have leaned on using Bonatti from a video game stance or perspective. I'm not talking about any personal attachment or sentiment for what she's accomplishing on the actual pitch. 91 overall, 5'3", 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot, lacks the physicality, even the stamina to truly be a box-to-box. You wouldn't play her as a holding mid. The defensive numbers aren't defending. She's not super pacey. The shot power is low, so your opportunities outside the box not going to be as high a percentage. Even the passing, a 68 crossing, 77 curve. The dribbling, I'm not taking away from her. If you've used Bonatti, especially with the R1 dribbling, which plays a factor. She does have technical for playstyle plus. It definitely helps for finding lanes and bursting through them. I just feel as if she's been linked with some of the best players in this position, and I disagree. Simply put, she's not one of the best midfielders in the game for me. I guess we'll leave that here. At number 2, we have Saka, who is hardworking for the badge. Next up at Arsenal, he's been leading that organization, and Arsenal fans love him. But this item is not an elite winger as it stands. 5'10", high medium work rates, 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot, 500,000 coins. If anything, he's almost better as some sort of floating midfielder or a center mid if you're playing a 4-1-2-1-2 or even a 4-3-2-1. Allow him to take up space, find those gaps, be able to track back a little bit defensively. His defending numbers are better than you would expect for this position. He just doesn't feel as if he's an organic or he's a recycling winger. He's not one of the best of taking players on, cruising by the defense, making things feel effortlessly. He's a hard worker. I haven't quite put my finger, and I don't know if it's the lacking of play styles. He does have a play style plus for power shot. We have flair and technical, but only 3 play styles. And his other version, the other 91, I believe has 2 play styles. The dribbling never feels like a 94. It's not that it's underwhelming or unacceptable or anything along those lines, but 94 would make him one of the best dribblers in the game. That's not going to be the case for whatever reason. We can talk about him, we can discuss. I would spend my coins elsewhere for this same position. My apologies, I'm just speaking my truth. At number 1, and please hear me out, I'm not here to discredit, I am inserting some intense music. You're gonna have a quick response, but I have Bota. Hold on. Hey, let me get it out. Let me talk. In the games played, the impact, her ability on the ball, all of that, good money. But I don't think she's some sort of prophet in the FC scene. And defensively, I've had woes. I've had questions. I lose out. My chase back could be better. And I started making a short list. I would prefer using Parkawi, Bom Pastor, Roberto Carlos, Ashley Cole, Teo Hernandez, Grimaldo, Mendy, both of them. And we talk as a community as if she is the best player that's ever been introduced, that she dominates this position. And I just don't think that's the case. There's plenty to love, plenty to appreciate, but I'm not scoring a bunch of goals even when she's in those positions. Might be due to the 70 finishing. There are better balanced left backs. I don't think I'm saying anything that's untrue. I've found more proactive attackers and definitely more consistent defenders, more reliable with their positioning, better recovery speed, more physical. So I had to start questioning internally, is Bota broken in a good way for the majority of you? I would bet a house on it. But in my experience, there have been so many left backs that I preferred. And at what point do I say maybe she's overrated? And as I'm playing, Bota typically comes off the bench for me now. She's not even making a starting lineup. And about half those players I mentioned, and I know this is an SBC evaluation, but they're similarly priced, so they are competitive. You can let me know what you think. I understand this choice ruffling some feathers. I know overrated selections in particular, they get dicey. So I look forward to some back and forth, some conversation. Remember, I am just talking about a video game. I'm not trying to take away from any accomplishments or accolades on the actual pitch. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop some love. And if you want gameplay, we have that happening on some daily considerations. The second channel at the Playbook, it is linked down below in the description, and I have a lot more content coming out ASAP.